Hello, Jason. So I'm testing out some new lenses that I got. I got a new wide-angle lens. I just wanted to do it for the fun of it. I also got this guy right here, 45 to 150 Sanwar 1, Lanny Mon. Everybody, welcome. Yeah, so I just wanted to test out this lens, do a random stream. Also, I haven't been uploading lately, so I feel like I've been disconnected with my YouTube audience. My metrics aren't maximal. I'm just kidding. But got a whole bunch of lenses now. Let's put them all up here. In fact, we can switch between them, I think, while we're doing this. We can't switch between these. But also, I'm going to be selling some of these lenses, so if anybody's in the market for lenses, please let me know. Fat Madamus R, welcome. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get this over. I just accidentally turned on my PlayStation 4. Was that on purpose? Okay, cool. Okay, so right here, these are my Panasonic lenses over here, and these are my Sony lenses over here. And currently I'm using a super wide angle lens for my Panasonic. The one right now, this is super wide. It's basically the equivalent of this Sony wide that we always use, only for the Panasonic. And then I also got, will this work? Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think it's working still. Got this bad boy right here. This is a super telephoto lens. Let's see if it focuses. It sure does. Cool. I'll zoom in there. Yeah, looks good. There's the vlog. You're gonna find out why I got these new lenses. I got this one right here. You see this? Yeah, you can see it. You see how you scum. For my Sony, I haven't talked about this one in the vlog yet, but well, I'm editing. I'm rambling too, but okay, let's go back to the other lens. I just remembered that I'm actually, in the vlog, I explain why I have all these lenses and what I'm doing with everything. So I don't need to go over that again in the stream, but since we're doing the stream, why don't we just do a random Q&A? Let's catch back up to what's been going on since I haven't been, you know. But yeah, as far as the lenses, selling them or reviewing them, I'm not going to review any. Well, maybe I should review them at some point. I feel like that would get a lot of views on YouTube, grow some audience. But I'm selling. Well, I'm definitely selling this lens. This lens I bought for $100, and it has been superseded by this lens. It has a much better stabilization system, and had I known that this lens existed, I would never have gotten this one. This one was 120, I think. This one was 100, so there's no need for it. And then this little lens, it's a 25mm for the Panasonic. I never use it, and it was 150, I think. This was just buying something out of, no, I think at the time I actually needed it because my Sony was out for repair. But this is the type of thing that you would never buy if you were in a clear state of mind and you weren't just like, I'm gonna buy something just for the fun of it. So I'm not sure if I actually bought this for the fun of it or not, but I probably did. But yeah, welcome Leah Likes Ice Cream, Christopher Williams, Raven Rook. Oh, Raven Rook, man. Oh, welcome. I haven't seen you. Well, Matthew Singer. I have been MIA. I've been, I don't really have a good excuse. I've been editing the third part of the road trip, but I haven't even been editing it that much to where I can't vlog at the same time. But for some reason, I just haven't had like the will to do it. So I just haven't been vlogging at all. But I have been doing those, you know, combination ones. The Sony 10 to 18 millimeter. Thomas actually just bought that for his A6300, and he said it was really good. The one that I just got today for my Sony is the 28 millimeter f2, which the main reason I got this, I mean, there's so many reasons I could go over all of them. Just stay tuned for the vlog. But this is for nighttime shots, because we have this one, the 55 millimeter f1.8, but it zooms in so much, you have to get so far away, then the mic gets far away. This is much wider. It'll be great for like campsite shots where we're just like walking and not walking, where we're talking and sitting around and eating and everything. And it's really weird looking at a camera lens and talking to it and actually having people respond. I just saw this, I didn't watch all of it, but I was watching this series by, God, what was the channel called? I can't remember, but if you type in parasocial relationships in YouTube, it talks about how people can develop unhealthy relationships, one-sided relationships, and YouTube is like the breeding ground for it. It started with things like radio and TV and celebrities where it's a one-sided relationship. Like, you guys know way more about me than I do you, and there's always going to be people who will take it to extreme. I don't think anybody who watches the vlog, I mean, I assume nobody watches the vlog is like this because I don't have any stalkers. So, but it can get to that point where people take it too far and they don't. And you know, another thing, watching that video, I'm probably not explaining it very well, and I definitely didn't go into enough detail explaining it, but the thing about that is parasocial relationships have only come about because of a lack in real life of real good social relationships. And I think that's because well, at least in the US, I don't know about other countries, but we got such like distance between everybody. And like my life, like ever since I've been out of school and not working like a job at like a company where I actually interact with people all the time, the amount of people I interact with every day is so little. Like sometimes I don't see anybody, and sometimes I just see my mother. And I don't think that's how humans in general are supposed to live. Like, I think we're supposed to always be having like little interactions with people. And, you know, is everything still working? I always talk for a long time and then suddenly I find out that everything was gone. But anyways, my whole point is that parasocial relationships, I feel like the video kind of like put it in a really like negative light, which I guess parasocial, what does that mean exactly? Does it mean abnormal or absocial? Like para as in paranormal and parasocial? Anyway, it was putting in like a really negative light, but I feel like that's a good thing that we at least have something to plug the hole of not enough social interaction, like good social interaction where you actually feel like you can connect with somebody. And the internet, like, I'm definitely rambling and just going all over the place, so I apologize. But the internet, I have maintained for a while now, that is a big, super roundabout way of trying to get people, of trying to get back to the point where we started, where we just sit around fires talking to each other, because that's like how humans started out. And we've lost that, so that we're like, well, let's create something super complicated just so we can get back to that. And I think this is another example of that, of where we're missing those like just good friends to be able to hang out with anytime and just talk about nothing. And that's kind of what the YouTube videos have kind of replaced, like especially like vlogs and stuff. My brother was actually saying, like, when I first started the vlog, he's like, it's kind of like having a friend at a distance that you can turn off at any time and you don't have to. So it's not as like fulfilling or challenging as a real relationship where there's interaction and there's like friction sometimes, and you know, you gotta like learn how to live with each other. This is just, you can see me when you want to see me, and then as soon as you don't, you close it. And if I say something you don't like, you can close it or unsubscribe and never talk to me. Or, I mean, you weren't talking to me anyway. See, that's weird. You can just stop watching forever, which is funny because I released a video what was it, a few weeks ago now, and I almost mentioned he who shall not be named, and I didn't even mention him. And I got like tons of people unsubscribing ever since then. Like, I've been like stuck at I don't know how many subscribers, but I've been stuck because I get a few each day and then I lose a few. And it's been like doing that ever since that video. So what that taught me was I'm not going to talk about top politics on this channel. Only in vague terms. Anyway, okay, sorry. Let's get back to what we were doing. Okay, welcome anybody who's just joined. I can see the chat. Actually, I can put this mouse right here and I can, yeah. Oh, maybe on my leg will be a little easier, yeah. Sanwar 1, what happened to the result of where we should go? I'm pretty sure we're going to Cumberland Gap. I think that was the winning vote on Patreon. We will still go to that. I don't know what happened to us actually announcing where we're going and who won the vote and then actually doing it, but I assure you we will still do that. You know, we're just like, we're terrible at planning. The only thing that we're any good at is editing videos and shooting videos. Like everything else, like any type of like, you know, day-to-day operations and like being on top of like, you know, all the detail and business work stuff, it just like makes me physically ill thinking about it. Fat Madamus R. I use almost no music that I write for the vlog anymore. I did at the very beginning. And I also use just whatever music at the very beginning. Now I use everything from a site called epidemicsound.com. So EPIDEMICSOUND.com. And it's a lot of probably like Swedish music producers. But anyways, it's a royalty-free music site that you pay $15 a month and you can use it on your YouTube videos. What's the word? Not ad nauseum. Ad infinitum. In perpetuity. Yeah. That's what I do. What's up, Yeti and Raven Rook? Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the... Well, I'm going to assume you're enjoying the road trip episodes if you said freaking awesome job. But thank you. Were you ever a fan of Doom? I just started playing the 2016 reboot, and it's a fantastic return to form for the series. You know, I played Doom, and I was interested in just insofar as I was interested in all video games at the time, but it has never been a series that has particularly attracted me. And I played Doom 64. That was probably the only one. That was probably the one I played the most because I was excited, and I only had a Nintendo 64, and I was a Nintendo 64 fanboy. So we rented it, I think. But... I played a little bit of the 2016 one, pretty fun. It's just, the aesthetic doesn't appeal to me very much, so I've never gotten super into it, but fun gameplay. What song is that? That's a video game title screen from something, but I don't remember where. Okay. Do I notice when people misspell my name? I notice it, and it totally just washes over my awareness because I don't care. It happens so often, too. Like, I can be in a conversation, like in an email thread with somebody, where I sign my name, and my name is spelled right in my email, and they'll still misspell it, so I'm just like, eh, it's fine, whatever. Yeah, I'm a disposable friend. Hello, James Blackburn. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny, too, when somebody who creates stuff or that you watch, like any type of creation stuff, like sometimes I'll go on Twitch. In fact, not even sometimes. I do this all the time. Whenever my Twitch Prime sub comes up, I usually subscribe to this dude named Dave Stereo. And I don't know why I picked him of all people, but he did this Final Fantasy VII speed run, and that's pretty much all he does. So when my Twitch Prime sub comes up, it's a free sub that I can sub to a channel. I go to his channel, and I wait for like a moment in the stream, and then I hit subscribe so that it gets the notification, and then he goes, "Oh, thanks, Nostalgic Gamer," blah, blah. It's so silly, but it's just like a fun thing to be able to have like some influence on that. So, Leah likes ice cream. Thank you for watching. Get Thomas to be the official AA planner. See, the problem is that he's now going to business school, so he's not going to have time for that anyway. What? Oh, okay. What? no idea what I just signed up for. I just signed up to do something that I have no idea what it is. But okay, whatever. Rosalie, I'm glad you watch it during breakfast. That's my favorite thing to do in the morning when I don't eat breakfast so much anymore. But when I eat my first meal of the day, I definitely watch YouTube videos. So it's fun. That's one of the things is like, some days I'm able, when I really don't feel like it, I'm like, man, I should just do a vlog anyway, because it'll give somebody some entertainment for 5 minutes the next day. So, but the ideal situation is when I'm really excited about filming and I have time to film and you get entertainment the next day. So that's what I've been doing mostly lately, is only filming when I really want to do it. Have I tried the Valkyria Chronicles 4 demo for PS4 Switch? I downloaded it on the Switch, haven't played it yet. I actually have the HD remaster for PS4 of the first game. Still haven't played it. I played a little bit of it, actually. Ooh, any tips on overcoming social anxiety? I'm curious to know what you think. So I've always had, not always, like I've grown out of it, but especially like in middle school and high school, super, super shy, socially anxious. It's not even so much anxious, just awkward. Like around good friends, I was the opposite of shy or socially anxious. It was just like boom. But just in general, in public situations or with new people, it was always kind of like that vague, you know, oh man, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like my performance ability, like I've talked about this a little bit before, but I used to play the marimba, do solos and stuff. I did this one specific competition and I played it beautifully, but my actual performance, what do they call that? Stage presence was terrible. Came out, was like this, just picked up my stick, started playing, bowed without looking at the crowd, walked away. It was just, if I did that now, oh God, I'd kill so bad. But to the point, how to overcome social anxiety, I think the first thing is focus on your health. Don't worry about how to interact with people. Get yourself feeling as comfortable as possible. At least this is what I shoot for. Is like I try to get myself feeling as comfortable as possible. So like make everything that's in my control as good as possible. So like make sure I've got enough rest, make sure I've eaten like good food, I'm not like drinking alcohol or eating candy or all this stuff, or like hopped up on coffee. Make myself relaxed in that way, and then when I actually go into a social situation, it's a lot easier to just interact with people without feeling anxious physically. Like you might still feel anxious mentally because it's a new thing and you know, whatever. But at least you can take care of the things that you have under your control, because you don't have any control over other people, obviously. But beyond that, I don't know. That's such a tough thing, because I really do think it's like that a big component is physical, and it's hard to mind over matter. I'm like such not a believer in. Like there are situations where mind over matter works. Placebo effect is real. There's got all these Buddhist monks doing crazy things with their minds over matter. But to us average people, mind over matter is, oh man, mind over matter is so difficult. I would never start anything with just doing sheer willpower. I always try to get the matter going first, and then the mind will follow. And just, you know, another thing is like, when I don't feel like exercising and running or whatever, or and I'm not feeling motivated to do work, that's usually a sign that I'm tired, malnutritioned, or whatever, because my body is much, much more powerful than my mind. My body will like trick my mind. There's been experiments with this, and I wish I could have like an exact article to pull up, but where your mind will make up reasons for why you're doing something post hoc based on what your body believes to be the case. So like there's some thing where they like covered one eye or had like split brain patients or something, and they were saying that they were able to identify something. I'm not explaining this well, but they were able to identify something even though they couldn't see it, but the other half of their brain could see it, but the brain came up with an explanation for it that was just an explanation. It was just a rationalization. It had nothing to do with why they were actually able to see it. Man, I've got really off topic and I've rambled, but hopefully that helps on some level, maybe. But getting your physical health there, that's always a good start for anything in life. So that's not a good answer for how to overcome social anxiety, but it is a start for, you know, just feeling better in general. How's the weather? It is hot and sweaty and rainy. And this big light right here is not helping. Do you prefer lean or moist brisket? I'm not sure I know what the difference is, but I would imagine moist because I always prefer some fat on the meat. Like, I don't like dry meat. The only people, let me rephrase. I only liked dry meat when I was a kid. And I feel like if you like dry meat, it's because you are still hanging on to that being a kid taste and you haven't explored moist meat. Oh God, moist meat is a terrible phrase. You mentioned once that Robbie isn't your real name though, so now I'm confused. Well, technically my name is Robert. Robbie is just an abbreviation. But I have an actual legal first name that I don't use, and I'm gonna keep it a secret because I am keeping it a secret. Some people know it though. I mean, if you know it, it's not a big deal, but okay, are you guys going to switch water sources for the house? So we could get hooked up to the city water. It is prohibitively expensive. So the next step would be to get a water softener, which we are thinking about doing because you can rent those. Ideally, city water would be the best because this water is super rusty and it smells bad and it has all sorts of problems. But, you know, it's a good thing we got that Berkey filter, though, because we'd probably be dead right now from drinking all that rust. How do you feel about the Sega Genesis, not compared to the SNES, looking at it as its own thing? I like the Sega Genesis. I haven't jumped into the Sega because there's not that many games I want, and like, it's a whole nother rabbit hole. It has very nice looking RGB video, I will say that. I loved playing Sonic at my neighbor's house. The Sonic music is fantastic. As a kid, you know, it was the Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis, and I was firmly in the Nintendo plant side. But now I look at it as it's a great 16-bit system. I wish I had been there with the beginning, like especially for the Phantasy Star series. So many people who played it at that time have such reverence for that series, but I've tried to get back into it or tried to get into it now, but you need to have it's a time and a place thing for it to really connect with you. In the same way, like if you played Mario 64 now, it wouldn't have that same effect that it had on the people who played it when it first came out. So Sega Genesis is really cool. I'd like to get into it at some point. I haven't. If they release a really nice Sega Genesis classic, like an actually good one, the one that they released last year, supposedly really bad. I never followed up with it to see if they improved it, but yeah, anyway. Ooh, I would like to read that Sanwar one. He said, speaking of lack of human interaction, I found this long read a while back that goes into effects that lack of friendship can have on a person's psyche. I would like to know that, yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender or Death Note? Death Note, no question. I tried to get into Avatar. I never really got into it. And the movie was abysmal. The movie was so bad. Although I'm sure nobody even thinks about that movie when they say Avatar. Okay, where am I at? Ooh, I like that. Alex Landon says, work on building your own self-worth first, and then when you interact with people, you have less of an inferiority complex. That's great advice. What do you think about Alex Jones getting banned off of YouTube, Facebook, and across the board from all social media platforms? If he was just playing a character and he acknowledged that the untruthful things that he says or just the ridiculous things that he says were just like an act and he was being like a character, then I'd be like, no, don't ban him. But if you're saying things that are actively untrue and you're just trying to get people riled up and angry and just like causing all this strife, then yeah, I have no sympathy for him. And on another note, though, it's also their platforms. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, that's not freedom of speech to be able to be on whatever platform you want and say whatever you want. Like, you don't own the platform. Like, you can go outside and say whatever you want, but... How often do you change the Berkey filter? We haven't changed it yet, so... maybe at some point we should change it. I haven't actually looked in to see how often you need to change it. But, like, if you look at the top now, it's just filled with rust. And it's pretty horrible looking, but the water always comes through clean still, so we haven't done anything with it yet. But oh, I told you guys the other name before. Oh, I wonder when I did that. The RGB is incredible. Also, this Genesis and Master System has great RPGs like Phantasy Star. Yeah, the Phantasy Star series is the one that I really wish I hadn't missed out on. I actually have the Genesis collection for Steam, and I had Phantasy Star 4. I do remember having started it at some point, but I was like, man, this is looking a little dated, and I don't know if I can play this. It was like, you need that nostalgia to play some of those old games. Will you ever move in with Andrew and Brian? Definitely not. But will I move closer to them? That could happen at some point. If we ever moved in together, it would need to be... There need to be 2 kitchens. It took my mother and I like 3 years to finally get the dishes under control where we really did it. We use our dishes and then we wash them and there's never a big pile of dirty dishes. I don't know how we did it, just enough times where we didn't do it and we got sick of it that we actually made a change. Like, we changed as human beings. If you ever believe that you cannot change as a human being, just know that somehow we were able to do the dishes and make a real change where we do the dishes every day. So, where was I going with that? Oh, so I can't live with Andrew and Brian unless we had 2 kitchens to where I could continue my washing dishes tradition, because I know that they won't. No offense to Brian and Andrew, but, I mean, Andrew's way worse than Brian. I'll throw Andrew under the bus right there. But, I couldn't live with it. And it's just like, I'm being honest, I couldn't do it. Alex says he's forgotten the name already. Why doesn't AA go full-time with it? I feel like if you guys put in that kind of effort, you would be on TV. Well, we're kind of already doing it full-time in the sense that me and Andrew, like, we work on it full-time. Thomas, he wants to go to business school. Brian, he just got a new job, so I don't think either one of them want to stop doing that. But I mean, we're essentially doing it full-time already. The other thing about, like, being on TV, like, I could be wrong about this, but I really feel like TV would just be a means to an end to... Oh, hello, Mother. You could probably... Yeah, you're on the stream right there.
Am I on the stream? Where?
Hold on, I'll show you. Yeah, you're right there. Okay, well, yes, thank you. Close the door. Well, the sound's much better. There was like a fan on out there. I could be wrong about this, but I feel like TV would be a means to make a bigger audience, not as an end unto itself, because TV is not the future. If I don't think that, maybe I'm wrong, but I do not see TV as being the future at all. Netflix, online, YouTube, whatever, it's going to be on the internet, through your computer, through your phone, through a streaming box, on your TV. But traditional terrestrial air, over-the-air TV, and cable TV, that is... I'm amazed that it's not gone already, to be honest. So, but anyways, as far as getting on TV, the only one that, like, I don't know, there's just so many ways to do it. The problem is, like, going back to what I said at the beginning of the stream, I just want to make videos. We need, like, a manager, but we don't have any money to pay a manager just to do all this stuff. And I suppose maybe when Thomas gets out of business school, he can just hit all this stuff full time. But, and you know, just like overall, I'm actually very happy with where we're at right now. It's not ideal. Like, it's not a full-time job for all of us, but it's at least enough to support us to where we can keep making the videos, and I don't feel stressed about having to make a bunch of money all over the place. So I don't know, it's like, it's weird. I have ambitions for things, but then at the same time, I'm like, man, is ambition really the goal that I want to pursue, or do I want to pursue making even better videos and getting to do that as much as possible because that's the part I enjoy? And maybe that's like a subtle psychological cop-out because I don't want to work on the other stuff, so I'm rationalizing why I'm not working on the other stuff. In any case. Well, the other thing, one more thing. Even if we were going like more full-time than we are, we can't make more than 1 episode a month. Like, it is just not possible. The only way to do it would be to work so hard at it that we would get sick of it. So even if we were technically full-time and it was the only responsibility we had and we didn't have to do any side projects to make money or whatever, it would still be, the output wouldn't change too much from where it's at now. We might be able to do more side videos, but really that's the main thing, is like trying to balance the workload versus the actual output. Is that what I'm trying to say? Well, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, if we tried to do too much, the video qualities would suffer because we would get sick of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that was way too long of an answer. Okay, Justin Marks, I did say moist meat. And if you have a BBQ food truck, you can tell me where that's at, because we got to visit that at some point. Mike Tron, welcome, and salutations to you as well. Yeah, who does like dry meat? I don't understand. Rosa Cummings, congratulations on the dish habit. It was fantastic. I kind of figured Andrew would be the messier of the two brothers. You have no idea. Like, it is comical. I'm anti-roommate. Even with your closest friends, it's a recipe for disaster. Man, yeah, roommates, you have to, it's a balance thing, and I have never, the kitchen is where every fight starts with roommates. Like, every single time I've had a roommate, it's been about the kitchen, or a fight about the kitchen. It's always kitchen. The only time it wasn't was when I was in New York, and I was the only one who used the kitchen. My other two roommates, they always ate out. Like, literally. Well, Franz, he would cook on occasion, the dude who lived in the living room. But Derek, the guy who lived in the other room, he literally never used the kitchen. Like, sometimes he would have, like, some almond milk in the fridge and, like, some Raisin Bran, but he would use, like, disposable plates or bowls, so. I lived with good friends, and one relationship was better for it, and the other one got worse. Yeah, I could totally see that happening. The key with... The key with lean meat is to cook it low and slow. Oh, James Blackburn, I'd be up for helping you. Okay, well, when we ever actually get on the ball and decide what exactly we want to do, we will hit you up on that. Rob, I have the same exact poster on my door. That is from Tim V, the Texan Camper. He has a YouTube channel. I think it's called I don't think. It is called Trail Aesthetics. You can check that out. I've done almost no freelance work this year. The Adventure Archives has basically been my full-time job, which is part of why I have been not spending any money, is because I don't have any money. So I was like, you know, if I'm not making much money, I should just spend less money. And then I can just still do the things that I want to do and just not get the new stuff that I want to get. Well, I did just buy 3 lenses, but I consider those as part of work. But what was I saying? Funnily enough, no, I did do some freelance work earlier in the year. Funny enough, I just got 2 jobs coming up. One's next week, one's in late September. And then there's one that's still up in the air that I can't tell you about yet, but if I can tell you about it at any point, it's going to be a really cool one. But it's still up in the air, and it's strange that it's up in the air, but we'll see what happens with that. I'll have to be vague. How's Octopath Traveler? Fantastic. I haven't been able to put as much time into it as I want. I've put 27 hours into it, but when I play that game, I really want to like fully experience it. So I want to be able to sit down, not be interrupted. I don't just want to like pop in and out. So when I've been popping in and out, I've been playing like Monster Hunter. In fact, me and Brian played last night. We killed 2 Nergigantes, or maybe I killed 2. I don't know. Maybe we just did 1. I think we did 2. But I got the chest piece with the big spikes, and then I got the new bone helmet, and I got the Nergigante sword. It's fantastic. And Brian is like super decked out. He's like my Monster Hunter sensei. Did you ever play Legend of Dragoon? That was a game that I've always wanted to play. When it came out, I kind of let reviews influence me, and they were like, oh, it's not as good as Final Fantasy VII. So I was like, okay, well, I'll ignore it. Recently, though, I played a bootleg copy on my PS1. I played like maybe 3 or 4 hours, and it seems like it's totally up my alley. It's like that traditional JRPG, really nice graphics, especially on the CRT, got the pre-rendered, and like an intriguing story with like dragons and like forests, and I don't know. I would like to play it, though. It seems really cool. Oh man, it's getting hot in here. Are you asking me, Raven Rook, on what diet I'm on? Because I'm not on any specific diet right now, unless you're asking Brian, and he mentioned a diet at some point. But yeah, right now I've just been... I will say, though, I have made humongous strides in my health and energy, and it was kind of like a couple of things all together. The first thing I did, and I don't do this anymore, but first thing I did was I stopped eating in between meals. So I waited 5 hours before I ate. So I'd eat a meal, I'd wait 5 hours, I'd eat another meal, and I'd wait 5 hours, I'd eat another one. That did some good. The next thing I did, which came next? The next thing I did was I stopped eating after sunset. Like, no matter what, you just, well, I've broken that, but after sunset, water only. So after, speaking of which, it's 7:30, I need to go get dinner because I haven't eaten yet. After 8:30, no food or drink that's not water of any kind. Then that made it so that I was actually able to fall asleep much easier. So I finally started to get to sleep at like 10 or 11 every single night, and I've been getting 8.5 to 9 hours of sleep every day. And the more, okay, and then the next thing I added on to that was I stopped eating right after I got up. Because what I would do before was I'd get up, literally eat right then. Now I get up and I have some water. I sit outside for 15 minutes in the sun to try and keep my circadian rhythm nice and in tune. And then I'm getting all these texts from Andrew. What is this? Let me just tell him. He's asking if he should send any of his songs to Nathan for the drums, and I'm going to tell him, doesn't matter. You can send the ones you think need it and leave the rest. Okay, so, but all together, those all reinforced each other. So not eating breakfast, that allows me to eat like, usually like, I consider like 2.5 meals. I'll have like a small breakfast, a real lunch, and a real dinner. And then, so then my eating window is like within 8 hours or so. Just like I only eat within that 8 hours. Not only do I have more energy now, I have gained the weight that I've been struggling to get back for years now. I was at 152 for a long time. Like for the majority of the vlog, I was like 152 to 155. Now I'm a consistent like 162 to 165. So it's 10 pounds more, which is the weight that I feel like I should be at. I go to sleep, like when I go to sleep, it's not a struggle. Like I don't sit there for hours just like wide awake. I go to sleep, I close my eyes, like within 10 minutes, I'm asleep. Throughout the day, I have energy. I'm not hungry all the time. So, in conclusion, How on earth did I get on this in the first place? Oh yeah, the diet, right. The diet. Now, I still, to some degree, I still try to, like, my main thing now is just try to eat real foods. I try not to eat any processed foods, but like, I don't eat any bacon anymore. I don't eat nearly as many sweet potatoes. Still eat a lot of meat, but, oh, and it's just how I got onto that initially, that was because, it's such a long story, there's always so many steps, but 2012 I got really sick, and then I was trying to recover from that, and I was trying all sorts of different stuff, and then I found out was what was working for me at the time. Anyways, I've rambled on about that long enough. In conclusion though, don't eat after sunset, don't eat first thing in the morning, and don't treat sleep like it's optional. 8 hours minimum every day. You got to make it happen. You will see leaps and bounds for your health. Sleep above all else. Diet and exercise, those two will support sleep, but sleep will support those way more. So those two will make sleep easier, but you got to have sleep above anything else, or like priority above that. Still off sugar, definitely. I'm not going to give sugar back. I skipped ahead, I think. I played Legend of Dragoon first and had a hard time getting into FF. Interesting. That's super interesting. I literally have never met anybody who's like that. Have you played Kingdom of Loathing, my personal favorite? I have no clue what that is. I thought you were going to say Kingdom Hearts, but no, I've never played Kingdom of Loathing. Can you please play a Final Fantasy song on piano real quick, or Zelda? This is the song I always play when I play piano. This is the travel agency theme from Final Fantasy X. I can play the first few notes because it's like ingrained in my brain. But I need the pedal to play it. And someday we'll play that. In fact, I was playing Steki Dane, the main theme from Final Fantasy X the other day. I've got the sheet music for that. I should make a video of that sometime. Oh, awesome, Justin Marks. Yeah, running a business with your one of your parents is fun. Like my mom and I, we did that for a long time with Zumba. And I hope that it's doing well. I hope your business is doing fantastic. Oh yeah, so yeah, you know the experience of running the business versus doing the part of the business you actually like, yeah. Which I imagine would be cooking and interacting with customers and stuff, and then the stuff you don't like is, maintaining your truck, or maybe you like that too, I don't know. Doing paperwork and stuff, that stuff. I have a super craving for barbecue now. I thought Andrew was telling you to stop throwing him under the bus. No, Thomas and Andrew will always be thrown under the bus just because they're the youngest. But, something I was thinking about lately is that this is something I've been trying to do in my own, like just on my end. I haven't talked about this to anybody else, like any of my friends or any of the Adventure Archives guys, is to remember that we're on the same team. Like I have a tendency, like especially with Andrew, just to yell at him for stuff. And I don't remember when I decided exactly, but I was like, I gotta stop doing that. Because we are on the same team, even if somebody has done something that you were like, how could you be so incompetent? You gotta remember, first of all, they're on the same team. They support you. When they do well, you do well. And to yell at them is, for one, not helpful, and two, it's hypocritical, because how many times have I done something completely incompetent? So, and especially family members, isn't it funny how you treat family members way worse than you treat random strangers? And I know the psychology, it's like, yeah, they're not gonna just leave you because they're family. A family's always family. And like a random stranger, if you treat them like crap, it's like, okay, I'll see you later. We should be treating the people who are closest to us the best. If anything, treat everybody well, but especially the people who are on your team. So that's been something I've been thinking about a lot. It's like, they're on your side, they're on your team, But when it comes to Andrew's messiness, I don't mind throwing him under the bus every time. The wheels on the bus go round and round, indeed. Roger Sim, welcome. Oh, my mother is in the chat, actually. Cindy Scambry, Justin Marks, wishing you and your dad all the best with the BBQ truck. Thank you, Raven. Christopher Williams, 10 pound isn't much. I lost nearly a stone and looked the same. Yeah, for me, though, like 10 pounds, you can see the difference. I don't have much meat on me anyway, so 10 pounds is crucial. See you, Alex. What's next for Adventure Archives after part 3? We're going to Gettysburg at some point, and we were going to do a trip this weekend. It's looking less and less likely. We'll probably do one the week after. We're trying to keep on the 1 a month train, but somehow even though we had such a big backlog, we still managed to possibly get behind again, but we might be able to keep it on track. But we did get to go just for the fun of it, and God, that was so much fun. It was great. You know, that Gremlins movie, like, that actually has a lot of... My brother said that it's actually an allegory for kids. Like, don't feed kids after midnight. And I think just for anybody, just don't eat at night. Don't eat after the sun has gone down. Your body is turning off its enzymes to digest. It does not expect food. And when you send it in there, it's like, I don't know what to do with this. Why are you doing this to me? Please stop. And the same thing, first thing in the morning, it's like, yo, I don't even know what's going on yet. I've been unconscious for 8 hours. Please wait a few minutes before you start stuffing food down your mouth. That's my experience. I vote for Nepal. It's very cheap to travel. Nepal would be awesome. Another international trip would be fantastic. I'd love to do that. What's up, Outdoor Serenity? Welcome. Goztone Indie Music. I've never beat Zelda 1. I never actually have either. I got to the final dungeon and never finished it. And at some point, the save got erased. Like, I loaned it to Brian, and then he had somebody else, like a friend was playing it, and they somehow accidentally erased the save. But I got back to the final dungeon again, and I still never beat it. I could probably do it now, but I've never really thought about it. Oh, are you going to do any podcasts with your mom? I've been meaning to do that for weeks now, and just haven't found a time where she's not busy and I'm not busy, and we can do it. But we will do that soon. My older siblings tend to nag or be hard on me for no reason. Like, it's gotta stop. Like, I used to treat my brother like garbage. It was just I mean, there were moments where I treated him like garbage. He treated me like garbage much, much less. But I really regret that. It's like such a dumb thing, man. Like, if you can't be like a teammate with your brother, then who can you be teammates with, you know? It's like just so dumb, and what a waste. See you, Lannymon. This chat keeps moving on its own. Mike Singer, hello from Cincinnati, home of your favorite Skyline cheese coney. Hello, Jason. It goes well. How are you doing? How's the editing going? We are content complete besides the teaser. The narration just needs to be put in. I recorded my narration today. I assume the other guys are recording theirs at some point. Speak more Mandarin with Andrew. It's funny. We should have an episode for April Fools where we just speak in Chinese. That would be so funny. Oh, we got to do that. Or maybe like for Chinese New Year. Oh, man. Not a full episode, but like a 10-minute video. Still waiting for your mom to come on one of your trips. That would be super fun. Yeah, we will definitely do that at some point. We're actually going to Mexico in November because she won a trip or like a free stay at a resort for like a week. So we're going to fly out there and go to Mexico. It should be really cool. I've never been to Mexico, so I'm pretty excited. It's Cabo San Lucas. It's Cabo San Lucas, I think. Gotta learn Spanish. What's that little gremlin called? If you're talking about what we were talking about before, Raven Rook was talking about the movie Gremlins. And in that movie, if you feed or give them water or something after midnight, they turn into gremlins or bad gremlins. You know. Oh, no. Have you been able to play that Lydian Collective vinyl? No. And I want to play it so badly. I just don't want to spend the money on a vinyl player. I need to find somebody who has one. Stone Age Gamer. Hyrule Legend 64. I don't know how many times I've told you that I'm going to do it and haven't followed through, so I apologize. But we will do one eventually. In fact, yes, I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to make it happen. James Blackburn, next time I see you guys, we'll have some green chili stew ready. Guys, you know what this means. First of all, we're 50 minutes into the stream. This lens is super wide, too. Good Lord. I'm also about to run out of batteries. If we run out of batteries, thank you for watching. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow with the vlog. But we're going to end really soon anyway because I need to go get dinner. Isle Royale will definitely happen. Cabo is a blast. That's good to hear. Speaking of Chinese, those China vlogs are really good. You guys ate a lot of food. My God, by the end of it, I was like, guys, thank you so much. Your hospitality is unbelievable. But please, like, we didn't actually say this, but this is what we were both thinking. We're like, please stop feeding us. Please. Just like morning to night, just constant feeding. And by the end of it, I was just forcing myself to eat it because it tasted so good. And I was like, I'm not going to have another chance to do this for a long time. Every time we'd go to the village, the like Huang village, and they would have the people, the local chefs come in and they'd cook in the back, just racks and plates of food. And I would take the mantou and I'd eat it and then have that greasy, fatty meat and I'd eat that. And then those little weird green things, I'd eat those. And the lobster, God, it was so good. Guys, don't worry. I ate enough for like 20 people and it wasn't good for me, but okay, so I did indeed run out of battery, but hopefully the stream will pop back up. It did. Okay, great. But man, I ate enough food for everybody like who's watching right now. Like I did you proud. Okay, don't worry. I ate so much. I wanted to die. Oh God. Okay. Anyway. The good one is Gizmo. Oh yeah, Gizmo. Okay, so Gizmo is the one you play as in the Gremlins 2 game for the NES, which we had. Mogwai, if they are not Gremlins. I need to rewatch that movie. I've not watched that in a long time. I love Stone Age Gamer too. We should definitely do more of them. See you later, James. Thank you for joining. Unless you're still here and you were responding to me saying bye. Vinyl player, also known as a turntable. Yeah, I guess it is a turntable. When you're up by the University of Cincinnati, those stones you guys found were from the old Chamber of Commerce from the 1800s. You guys look confused as to why they were there. I don't even remember those. I'll need to rewatch that episode. It's a memorial. I vaguely remember something like that, but I definitely have to watch it again. Okay. Okay, but yeah, so Brian just said bye everyone, and then everybody was saying bye, and then I ran out of batteries. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I think I'm gonna get a frozen pizza. I had one last night, so I've got a taste for it. I'm gonna do it again. Much to the chagrin of my mom, because she's gonna have to smell it and look at it while I eat it, because she's much more, what's the word? Diligent? Is that the word? There's a word to where, persistent? Man. Disciplined. She just said it in the other room. She's much more disciplined about not eating pizza. So anyway, I'm gonna eat it. Oh, Full Metal. I know, man. I know that you're Hyrule Legend. We will get the Stone Age Gamer back at some point. And thank you, Serena Davis. Yes, it was disciplined. That's what I wanted. Okay, well, one more question. Baltic Street. Actually, if anybody has more questions, we'll answer those, but get them in now. What is one thing you miss and don't miss about your old house? The thing I miss is that it was on a dead-end street and that nobody drove down there, so I could film outside. Like, I mean, I could still film outside, but people would see me and they would be like, what's that weirdo doing with the camera? Down there, I was like, I do whatever I want. I also miss the city water. The thing I don't miss is that it wasn't our house, so that we couldn't do whatever we wanted to it and change it. And also, this house, the sun is goes over the sides so that the backyard and front yard are not super sunny all the time. Although the front yard and the other one wasn't. But now there's not like just blindingly hot beams of light coming in from the back of the house at the end of the day. Okay. What is my favorite lake in Ohio? Well, I live in Indiana, so I don't know too much about the lakes in Ohio. But I would say the favorite lake in Indiana would probably just be Lake Monroe, because that's the only one I can even think of. But I'm actually not a huge water person. I don't like swimming, and I don't like being wet. I do, well, outdoors, like if it's like a really cool lake out and it's nice and clean and pristine, like in Yellowstone, I love it. But like in a pool, I don't like swimming. I don't like getting that chlorinated water, and I'll do it, but it's not like something I like go after. And I should say it's not that I don't like it, it's just I'm not a fan of it, you know? Okay. You hear my morning show, except I don't eat cereal. Okay, well, I'm gonna get the morning show back going for you guys. Okay, guys, I really gotta go. Thank you for watching. The last question. You on the search for a girlfriend? No, but I've been thinking about it lately. I was like, man, you know, something's kind of nice to have, like a romantic interest. So I might make steps towards that in the future, in the near future, but I'm also not super in a hurry to do it, but at some point. Okay, thank you guys. Probably a vlog tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about these lenses. It's probably gonna be a short one and disappointing, but maybe tomorrow I'll start filming again. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys then. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna end the stream now, and I'm gonna get